Morning, laddies. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Zuku got teleported to the what or no into his own different universe where he meets different versions from other what ifs. And so let's begin at the USJ. Usually in these what ifs, you can and always start with like Zuku being born but in this what if Zuko was born first and Zumi born second? Yeah. So and he was quirkless, but his sister was not. And yeah, I know. So Zuko was at the USJ, and he or the warp guy. Wish I had his picture, but that's okay. I'll just use. So the warp guy warped everybody into different areas, but Zuko's, or he has a power. Every time he goes through a warp gate thing, he gets teleported somewhere. So he teleports, and they're like, where's this student go to? And yeah, he ends up meeting, or he went into a world where Zuku, who is everyone. Basically like Spider-Verse, but this is Zuku verse thing. So he meets the first person that he meets is the Zuku from, or actually Void. He meets Void. And as he says, who the heck are you? Oh, my name is Void. But, okay, Void. What the heck happened to you, boy? Oh, my parents didn't love me. And so, or my mother didn't love me and all that stuff. Yeah, so, and this is I was gonna name it Zuku and entered into a like Zuku universe thing, as Void takes him around, as he says, Void, can I ask you something? Sure. What do you need? So you're me, right? Yes. I am you from a different universe. Huh. Just like that warp guy, one that is attacking USJ. Yes. And then they walk around and they see thousands and thousands of different Zukus. Like I'm throwing in my own version of Zuku, whatever Zuku was, volcanic doomfire thing. So he meets them, and he says, "Hi, quirkless Zuku." That's their code names. So they are all like traveling around, and that's on one side. But back at USJ, All Might battled against All for One, or no, her Nomu, and yeah, it gone canon, but so yeah. Then sorry if I'm quiet thing. So yeah, All Might here. Sorry if I'm scrolling up and down. I'll just use. So All Might against the Nomu, he wins, or All Might wins, and then Shreki-sen says, you win this round, but come back for seconds when. Let's go. As they're like, yeah. So they went and back to their village, or their villain's base, and All Might, it was like out there counting, like, okay, 16, 17, 18. Okay, everyone's here. But wait, where's Zuku? And some of them are like, well, I don't think. As Zumi can feel her brother's presence. And she's looking around because I'm also giving her the ability to see into different universes. So she sees him talking to different versions of himself. As she looks at All Might and she says, well, then Zuko got teleported into a different universe. As everyone looks at her, thinking, okay, this is weird. So, yeah. After he meets everybody, then, of course, Nezu says, or actually, All Might told Nezu that he knows where Zuku is. But he was like doing all that stuff. Sorry. So he decides to make a portal thing. Like a small mobile one. So he made, or actually, he asked Powerloader to make that device. So yeah, Zuku was like not angry, not sad, but he's kind of glad that he's in the multiverse, and he met, like, when I say multiple different versions of him, yeah, he met the flame version of him. So yeah, even his that. So they're like, okay. So, and he saw a Zuku version of her, and yeah, things gone crazy. And he walks around just for like 5 days in that world, but for hours in the normal world. So, yeah. The Midnight's like, or when Anna asked Zumi, how long will it take? Or like, I know that you can see into the multiverse, but is your brother doing anything crazy in there? As Zumi just turns around, looks at her, and says, no, but he is meeting different versions of himself. Trust me. As he sees, or as she sees him meet the Zuku with, or version of her powers, of Midnight's powers. So, yeah. They're like, holy crud. As, yeah. He's basically like visiting, and he saw the Doomsday Zuku in the cage, as he says, huh, what is his problem? Oh, his mother died and he is upset. Well, I feel bad for him. As Doomsday looks at Zuku, or his self, as he says, feel bad for me? Huh. Yeah. So, yeah. When Zuku, like, he met all the people from, like, a couple days ago, he met, or like, or a couple days ago that I made a what if Zuku was starving Venom Fusion Dragon. He meant that. And yeah, he meant different versions of himself, but with like the powers of their friends, their families, everybody's. It's like, that scares me. So, yeah. Then one day they decided, or actually, the Blood Hero tells them, is it ready yet? Well, yes, but it has to gone through testing. He literally threw the rock in, and it hits their Zuku on his back, as he's like, ow. As he goes through, and he gets up, and he sees like, actually, he actually did save the entire multiverse of his from getting destroyed. by the anti-zukus. Those things are like, they're like that, but 100 times more disgusting thing. So, yeah, and creepy. So they battled, and of course Zuku won. And yeah, they actually decided to give him all of their quirks, or their power, to fuse into his body. So he's basically the one who rules all. Like, the one for all. Or one is all. Like, that kind. So, yeah. He went through without a scratch. And everybody's happy for him to return. He was like, that was just so bizarre. As, yeah, Eraserhead's like, I know it's bizarre for you, but just tell us, what did you do in there? As he looks at Eraserhead and says, well, you probably would be better off not knowing what I went through. I had to go through, or until I'm ready, okay, Eraserhead? As Midnight and Eraserhead agrees, or all of them, as, yeah. But they didn't notice the fire coming off of, like, Zuku's every time he walks. As he says, yeah, he's basically like on the same level as like the Alien X level. So, yeah. Then Sports Festival. Hmm? As, yeah. Nezu's like, okay, Zuku, I want to ask you about those, like, what did you go through those guys? Well, Nezu, I wish you had known, because it literally scares me. I got teleported into a world where I saw myself in different spectrums. Basically, like, I saw me having, like, your powers, and then I also had Mr. Aizawa's powers and everybody's from different spectrums. So, yeah. Then Midnight was like, okay. As Nezu says, okay, so. And I did get the Void's backstory, or one of their backstories, of how he got to this point. Okay, so the void ing. It's a code name for warp gate zuku, who has like his parents didn't, or he went through the same problem as me, like quarkless thing, but his parent or his mother blamed their relationship on them, on him, and then the doctor, as he had the same picture of what the doctor looks like, him, put it right on the top of the table, as he says, it's this guy, he kidnapped him and turned him into the Nomu, or into this thing. So, yeah, he starts explaining what really happened in there. And this is like really interested. Like, so, but that's not all of it. He's responsible for creating more different zukus. There's one that I saw in the cage. And if you known what it was, you would have just been like terrified. So, his name, or his code name, is Doomsday. So, yeah, everybody froze at that name in 4 or 5 seconds, as Eraserhead is like, okay, what is his backstory? Well, his backstory is that he had a quirk, but he got taken, and or he didn't have a quirk, same problem, but that same doctor shot his mother in that world and took him in and transformed him into what you see before you. As he slips another picture, as they're like all shocked, and he says, that's, but I did see one person that looked like the, or that Zuku, or All Might knows, as All Might says, or actually he just walked in, so he says, well, there's someone that you might think about, or your like master that gave you One for All, that girl. As All Might's like, yeah, but what about her? Well, when I got teleported to the universe where I was at, I saw her, but she had green hair like me, and it was scary. It's just like her normal hairstyle, but more green. With green eyes instead of like gray. So, yeah. All my her is like, okay, keep going. As, yeah, they filled in all my what he missed. As they're like, if that doctor is taking the students or like kids away from their parents, he must be the one behind it all. Yes. As he saw, he also said, "Oh, did I forget to mention? I also saw a different version of you, All Might, but not like a evil version or the crazy version. I saw myself looking like you in your buffed up form. Just I'm trying to here. Where is it? Sorry. Oh no! Oh no! It kind of looks like him, but with green hair and green outfit. As he says, "Thing in this, I would rather be quirkless than being." He says, "Thank goodness I'll be like quirkless than being like having those powers." Sheesh. It drives me drinkers. And I really do have a power of my own, or quirk, should I say. It's called phases, or like walls. So he basically went through all that. So, yeah. Zuku was kind of shook up because of all that stuff. As now the sports festival, I'm actually skipping it because one, it was not fun, but it was similar to canon. Till got to the Baku, or no, till got to Zuku and Peppermint Boy. That's what I call him. Todoroki. So, yeah. He actually, when he was shooting ice, Zuku shot a fireball from his mouth. Let's take a breather. It's the same one where Zuku version of the volcanic doomfire is. As, yeah. He basically became like a literal Hun. So, yeah. It explodes and, yeah, he also infected the entire world. Not like with a disease, but he also got the power from the last night, or no, yesterday. He's what if. So if you haven't missed, or if you missed that one and you're on this one, so you're like, what the heck? Go check it out. And yeah, he... Where is it? Okay. So, sorry. So Zuku was... Here, let me move this down. So, because it looked blended in. So, yeah, Zuku actually infected the entire world. Or actually has bonded with a world, so he's immortal. So, yeah. Then they're like, how does this guy know all my powers? As Zuku, his hair turned into like what Todoroki is, but white is placed with a white green, like bright green, and the other side would be darkest green. Yeah, so basically like his usual hair color thing. But he used his ice and fire here. As, yeah, it was got crazier and crazier. So I'm skipping that part. So, yeah. Then the hero killer Stain got apprehended. And yeah. Then I'm skipping that part, so it's boring. So the going on to, or actually after the sports festival, Todoroki asked, how did you get your hair color split into two of those and have the same hairstyle as me? As Zuku told him, there's one from my, or where I went from, or went to. There was actually a Todoroki version of me. Basically, I gained all of their powers, so don't ask me what quirks do I have, but I do have one that's multiverse thing. It's the weakest by itself, like it does nothing by itself, but when it combines with a teleport thing, it will go into like different universes. So, yeah. When Momo was hearing about what Zuku is saying, and she couldn't get over how Zuku got her powers too. So she walks up to him and asked, how did you get my powers, by the way? I was just explaining to Todoroki about how I went to a universe and I gained all of their powers. So, yeah. One of them was actually the female version of, like, me, but with your powers, Momo. Oh? It scares me. As, yeah. Zuku was explaining to every classmate, Class A and Class B, because they heard about Zuku got teleported to the world, But when he explained, as they're like, okay, as they wanted to test his power, so they asked the teachers if that's okay with them. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. So, yeah, they all tried different powers. Like Zuku could, or he actually used his own laser to counteract, like, the set no dot one and up there. As he went all the way down to Class B. As everybody sees how he is, like, doing all that stuff, he says, I also could combine certain powers of those worlds. Forgot to mention that. As, because my different version of me has a fusion quark, or power. I can take one thing and fuse it with the other. Basically, if I wanted to take Jiro's headphones and Denki's electricity, fuse them together, and bada bing, bada boom. So, yeah. Then he actually did use it by fusing Bakugo's explosion quirk with Mushroom Girl's or that girl right there. I always call her Mushroom Girl because of. So, yeah. Mushrooms explode. They're like, whoa, that's cool. Or he beats, like, Tenya. Huh? In about 1. Or no. Actually, 1. Or no. Actually, 1. Or no. 0.1. And faster. Like, or I was gonna say 100,000,000% times faster. Yeah. So Zumi's like, okay, brother, ready to go? Yeah, let's go. And yeah, he leaves, or they leave, and they're like, how do we top that off? As Nezus is thinking in his head, is like, if a world where Zuku went and had different Zukus, there must be good and the bad versions of him. As all my Eraserhead and her says, what should we do with him? Well, to me, I think he knows why he would rather be quirkless than having all those powers. As Midnight is like, okay. As, yeah. Then after the mall arc, then I'm in the camp arc, and Zuku, or no, all for one against All Might, But Zuku, or no, All Might got like knocked out, but not dead. But then something unthinkable happens. Zuku came out of nowhere and punched, or actually, he used the long range attacks. Like he punched all for one with a haymaker. Like basically a mountain or concrete hits him and sends him flying as he gets All Might out, and he basically, Zuku won that pretty fast, like 0.1. So, Zuku is pretty powerful. He's OP as like Saitama, and Superman put together. So, then he does everything. As he became where is it? Oh. He became the man of the entire universe, multiverse, everything. So, he created a machine where to see what happened back then. As they see different versions, even heck, Void. As, the Ochako's like, what the heck? As, then, now this is, I'm skipping the overhaul fight because it's boring. And no one wants to hear me say, oh, I'm just gonna do overhaul fight. And he just basically won that by just flicked him off the side of a underground. Yeah, so I'm skipping that part. So have fun. Please leave a like, share, subscribe, and go check out the other people.